Hi there, friends. I hope you all can hear me. It's my first time ever going live on YouTube, so I'm really excited about that. It's actually my first YouTube video ever, so I hope that you're able to find me and that we can hang out a little bit this evening. I also hope that you can hear me. It's as I mentioned, my first time, so I hope that my webcam and everything is working perfectly. If ever there's any issues, please just mention so in the chat so that I can fix that for y'all. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience at Origins Game Fair. It's a board game convention that takes place in Columbus, Ohio, and it was my first time going to a board game convention at all ever, so that was really special for me. And I just wanted to talk to you about my experience. I was volunteering with a company, so I was there with Wise Wizard Games, and I spent most of my time demoing games with them in the halls. So my experience focuses more around that, though I did spend some time in the convention itself, so we will touch base about those topics as well. So first of all, I got into Ohio on a Wednesday. The convention opened up to the public on the Thursday, but I arrived a day early to help with setup and all of these things. Hello to those who are joining. I am not sure yet how the chat works, so if you are there and you can see me, if you could drop something in the chat, I would love that. Oh, hi from France. That's awesome. I know that you said you would be here, so I really appreciate that you are. It's always so lovely to see people join and to participate in any way. Send me some questions, chat with me. I love bouncing off ideas with you as I go along. So feel free to chat with me at any moment. So yeah, I arrived on the Wednesday. The convention opened up to the public on the Thursday, but I arrived all by myself. I flew from Boston. I live up in Montreal, but I drove down to Boston and then flew over from there to kind of facilitate the trip a little bit. And I arrived really early on Wednesday morning, and then I headed over to the hall to meet the Wise Wizard crew and help set up their booth. And what was really fun about that was that I was actually recommended to Wise Wizard by Danielle Reynolds, some Instagram friends that I have never met any of my Instagram friends before, except one person in Vermont. So Danielle Reynolds is one of the designers of Her Story, which is a really awesome board game that I just really love. I actually have a copy. Is it sitting here behind me? I don't really know. I just rearranged my shelves and I'm not sure it's way up there, so we can't see it right now. But she was the designer of Her Story. Hi, those who are joining. And so she actually recommended that I hang out with Wise Wizard for this gaming convention, and I got to share a room with her, which was really, really cool. So I got to meet her. I also got to meet PJ, who is the Cajun Gamer on Instagram. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. Hi, Andrew. He says hi from the UK. Thanks for popping in. It's so nice to have you here. I'm really excited. I'm a little bit nervous, too. I've never done the YouTube-wide, like, horizontal hangouts. Hi from California. Hi in California. It must be early over there. Thank you so much for popping in. It's really late over in the UK and France, so thank you so much for being here. So yes, another person that I got to meet was the Cajun Gamer. He's a friend that I met on Instagram as well, and he was looking to work at the convention as well. So I asked him to work with our team, and another person also, Rick from Rick Rolled Reviews, he was there on our team as well. So those are three people I've been talking to on Instagram for a really long time. We all got to be there together, and then the rest of the Wise Wizard crew who I got to meet were absolutely phenomenal. So that was a great way to start my trip. During setup, I got really excited. Not board game related, but we needed snacks for the weekend, and I love snacks. What are your favorite snacks? Because I got so lucky that I got to go and choose the snacks with the person buying all the snacks, so I hoarded all the pretzels. So maybe that sounds a little bit weird, but we don't have all the same pretzel flavors here in Quebec as you do in the States. And so I was just like stocking up. I got like buffalo wing pretzels, and I actually brought home some ranch pretzels. And I love honey Dijon pretzels. And on my way home, I found in Vermont like sharp cheddar pretzels, which was like blowing my mind. So I was freaking out and hoarding all the pretzels. And I was really excited that I had those to eat all weekend at the booth. So the first night, actually, after setup, we got super fortunate. We were invited to a Kickstarter party, which was really fun. They had a lot of games. I think most of you are familiar with Kickstarter. So they had a lot of games set up, not board games so much. Thanks. Yes, nice game collection. It goes higher. There's like 2 or 3 more rows up there, and kind of some all over my floor too that are hiding over there. You just can't see them. Thank you so much. It's growing. One of the things that I'm going to be showing you tonight is a bag full of games that I got over at Origins. So I'm excited to share that with you as well. So we went over to this Kickstarter party, and there were food trucks and drinks, and they had some outdoor games, so like some frisbee games, and they had like cornhole and all the stuff. So that was really nice. It was along the river in Columbus, and something that was really cute is that in Columbus the fireflies just come out into the streets. Like that doesn't happen here in Montreal. Like we can go to the country and see fireflies, but you don't just see them out in the middle of the city. So that was really cool and very cute. And then we went back to the game hall and finally got to start playing games. So I played Wavelength for the first time. Not a new game, but a game that you might be familiar with. I'd never gotten to play. It's a party game. Hi from Germany. Hi, all my friends who are hopping on. It's so nice. It's so nice to see you joining me here. Have you ever played Wavelength before? Let me know if you have and if it's a game that you enjoy or not. But I got to play Wavelength with against some guys who work for Wise Wizard, as well as Rick from my Instagram friend and another person I had never met from Wise Wizard who turned out to be really cool. And we started off, if you've never played Wavelength, it's basically a game where you're given a clue, like a thing, and then like a range. So for example, the one that I got was like hero to villain kind of situation. And my clue that I gave, because I needed them to land not at hero, not at villain, but about 3/4, like 80% over towards the hero bar. The clue that I gave to these people who I'd never met before was Luke Skywalker, and they have to like move the range around and agree where they think it should stop and try to get the point. So when you undo the window, it'll show if you lined up with where I was trying to guide you. And they got exactly smack on where it was supposed to be. So with my first clue of Luke Skywalker, my team was all on board about how much of a hero to villain ratio he was, and we scored 4 points right out the gates. And now we're friends for life, right? Because that's how that works. So that was a really fun experience playing that game my first night of the convention. I will say that in general, I didn't get to play as many games as I had hoped, and apparently that's a common thing that happens. You want to meet so many people, you want to do so many things, and then time goes by really quickly while you're at these conventions. You're looking at things. I was demoing the whole time with Wise Wizards, so I didn't get to play as much as I wanted, but that was a great first game of the week to kick it off, a nice party game, making new friends. So now I just want to share with you, every time I go through a day of the convention, I'm going to share with you some of my goodies. The first goodie that I got was actually a board game bag. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a board game bag before, but they are pretty intense. So I'm going to show you this. This one is from All Play. All Play used to be board game tables. They now go as All Play. And they gave me this beautiful, beautiful board game bag. So check it out. Look how big this is. It is like huge. And at the conventions, you will see people wearing these. So the straps come up like this. And they're not just to like hold like this. They're like, actually, I think it's here. You put them, I can't find them, but you put them on your back like this. So then you're carrying around the board game bag on your back like this. Oh, they're there. There's my straps. And it's like a pack mule. You have this giant, giant bag full of board games that you carry around. I believe they say you can fit about 7 Ticket to Ride size games in these bags. So I filled mine up so that I could bring it home full of games. So it says the bag is bigger than you. It is basically bigger than me. And I'm so lucky they gave it to me because I didn't bring a bag to bring on the plane after, and it's full now. So if I didn't have the bag, I would have just been like stuck in Ohio forever with some games, living on the street with my like fort of board games. It's so big. All right, so then the first day that the convention was open to the public was Thursday. And so I just demoed games all day. I don't know if you are familiar with Wise Wizard games, but I will just do a little hype for them right now since they were so sweet with me. Andrew says he has to leave, but have a great first live. So thank you so much for popping in. I know it's late over there, and I really appreciate that you made the effort to stop by. And I'll see you next time, Andrew. But yeah, so I was demoing a lot of games for Wise Wizards. So one of the games that I was specifically on at the demo hall was Sorcerer, because that's a game that people know a little bit less, and I had some knowledge of the game prior to arriving there. So Sorcerer is, it's made as a 2-player game, but you can play up to 4, which is actually really cool. Some people demoed it as 4. I had never played it as 4, and it went really well. And that's kind of like a back and forth card game where you card game board game where you have actions and then a battle phase, and you have 3 different battlefields. You're kind of duking it out across the battlefields to try and claim the battlefields. You need to win 2 of 3 of them to win the game. So that's a super cool game that I was demoing. And then they're very much known for Hero Realms and Star Realms. You might be familiar with those games. They have a really big following. They host competitions at all of the conventions, and it's actually really fun because if you win one of the tournaments at the conventions, you get they make promo cards that are available at the conventions, and you get your face on them, so you like become a character in the game, which is really cool. And they have really nice apps for those games, so Star Realms, Hero Realms. I've been playing the Hero Realms app pretty like every day. Like I've stopped going on Board Game Arena because I'm just like playing so much Hero Realms. It's a little bit embarrassing. But if you do ever get Hero Realms, or if you already have Hero Realms, feel to add me. I think I said that backwards. Feel free to add me. My name is T Bell, so you can just invite me to play games against you if that's something that you would like to do. And so I demoed games that whole day, and then I went to actually an all-ladies board gaming event for ladies in the industry. I was so fortunate to get invited to that. So staying with Danielle, as I mentioned, to help design her story, she invited me to this event, and it was put on by the Rose Gauntlet Foundation. So just a shout out to them. They're a foundation that deals with educating, networking, and resources for people who want to pursue a career in the tabletop gaming industry. And they put on these events, and I think there's a big one at Gen Con, and it was the first time they did one at Origins for the all ladies kind of situation, and that was super fun because I got to meet a lot of women who are designing games, who do different things, promotion, marketing, media, all sorts of stuff, and that was really, really cool to meet all those amazing people. But I was really tired that night, so I'm going to show you one of the games that I got in my beautiful, beautiful game bag here. So one of the games that I was given actually by a friend, he had an extra copy and he gave it to me at the beginning of the convention when we ran into each other. That's Rick Bold Reviews I mentioned earlier. Super, super nice. He gave me Marvel Dice Throne. He's actually the person who got me addicted to Dice Throne in general. So if you don't know Dice Throne is, it can be played up to, I think, maybe even up to 6 players, but it's designed kind of more of a 2-player game in my opinion. It goes faster. I prefer it more as 2, and it usually comes in boxes of 2 characters and fantasy themed, but they did a skin with Marvel characters as well, and you can play them both with the Marvel characters or the fantasy characters, and you have like a board and cards, and you're kind of trying to, and dice, and you roll dice to make the combos on your boards so that you can attack the other player, and it's really, really, really fun. Yeah, so I do show it on Insta quite a bit. I have 3 different sets of 2 characters, so this brings me up to 10 characters total. And as I was saying, I was really, really, really tired on the Thursday night, just from how the commute and all the hubbub, getting used to being at a convention, meeting all these people. And I was so fortunate, after the ladies and gaming night, I went home to my hotel and showered, and was going to come back out and play games with people, and I just couldn't muster the energy, but I didn't want to kind of lose a whole night of gaming. So I invited a friend that I had made over to play Marvel Dice Throne on my floor, and that is just what we did. He was, what did he play? He was Thor, and I was Spider-Man, and we had to finish, like we didn't end up finishing, but I was, because it got really late, but I was about to win, so I claimed that I win with Spider-Man. So this was super fun. Thank you so much, Rick, for giving this to me. I don't know what I would have done that first night. I would have just been like sat in my bed alone being like, I want to play games. So I'm so happy to have this and to have taken this home with me, and my roommate loves Marvel and Dice Throne, so such a great, great game to add to my collection. So thank you. If you guys want to see that close up, this is by Roxley Games, if anyone's curious. Super fun games. So I'm being asked if it's better than the classic Dice Throne. So that's the really fun thing about it. As I mentioned, they can actually mix together. You could play a Marvel character against a different character. And I don't know how like Dice Throne progressed throughout time, but I know there's different seasons, and they have made, like, in the rule books, the different characters seem to have definitions for how their attacks work if they have specific keywords, so you're able to make sure that you use the characters against each other properly, and I think they all kind of balance out somehow that way. I am not immersed in it enough to know if there's like, oh, this person can't beat this person or whatever, but from what I've experienced, the characters can all mesh together, and it's super, super fun, and everyone who can play who they like, and there's so many different little mechanisms in each character, so it keeps it interesting with all the different characters you can get. Yeah, so that was my Thursday. There's some other questions that I got that I have on my little board over here that I was asked on Instagram before starting this live. And one of them was, who was I most excited to meet? So I think the crew that I mentioned earlier, those 3 Instagamers, were the people I was most excited to meet because I knew I was going to be working with them, and we had just kind of hyped up the whole situation, and it was really lovely and supportive. But another person who I happened to walk into on my first day, but got to sneak a game in before I got too tired, actually, on a Thursday night, was 9 to 6 Games. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with 9 to 6 Games, but he is just this boisterous personality on Instagram. I love the way he talks about games. He's very articulate, very outgoing. And when I had just this wee little Instagram account, he was very supportive and uh, what's the word? Chose me for Mechanism Monday, nominated me for Mechanisms Monday when that was a trending hashtag. And I got to choose a mechanism for Mechanisms Monday and just kind of got to know the community a lot faster and spoke to more people and got more involved. And that really catapulted my involvement with just everyone, and has gotten me to where I am today. So I got to meet 9 to 6 Games. As soon as I walked in the convention hall Wednesday morning, when I walked in for setup, just walked right into him, like, was like, whoa, hey. So that was super cool. And we made time for a really quick game on a Thursday night. We played, he showed me Hero Realms. I'd never played that before, and that was super cool. And he showed me there's a really cool app. I'm not sure if you've ever played it. It's just a quick card game where you're getting points, but some things take away points, some things add points. And you can use an app too to put in all your cards at the end, and it'll add up your points for you if that's something that you like. So that was super fun, that I actually got to squeeze in a game with him. We both had our own things going on, but we made the time, so I loved that. So those of you who are still here or just popping in, thank you so much for being here. If you have any more questions, obviously let me know. I have a few more days to get through at my experience with Origins. So on the Friday, this is where it gets kind of more meaty, like more games, meeting more people. On Friday, I actually got to meet a bunch of people from the All Play team. So the group who gave me this bag. I didn't realize that I had known some of them from Instagram. Sometimes you don't really know who you're networking with or talking to or making friends with. So we went out for some games. We went and played Regicide and had dinner. Regicide is a really quick card game that I had never played before, but it's basically the equivalent of a deck of cards, but there's some rules in there, and you're trying to take down the jacks, kings, and queens as a team around the table. And I won't get into it too much, but it's really quick, fun, kind of strategic game that's just a deck of cards, but it's a special deck of cards. So that was really, really, really fun thing to do. And then they were so sweet. They invited me to play Blood on the Clock Tower. So I don't know who of you have heard of Blood on the Clock Tower, but it's a really, if you follow Gnarly Carly, like, she's really big into Blood on the Clock Tower, and she, I think she led a game in the room beside me that night. We almost joined groups together, but we ended up having our own independent groups. And I'd never played before, and I was with a bunch of people who had never played before, and it worked out really nicely. But basically, in Blood on the Clock Tower, I'm no expert in social deduction. It's not usually my style of game, but it's similar to Werewolf in the sense that it's like a social deduction game, and there's a nighttime and a daytime, but it is much more elaborate. So you have someone who puts on the game. They have a setup with like a really cool box that opens up like a book, and so everyone takes a token at the beginning of the game that tells them who they are, and then the token gets placed into the book on the felt, and it stays there so you can see who everyone is. And part of the reason for this that's so important is because there's more than one bad person in Blood on the Clock Tower. There can be, I think, 4 or 5. There's only one that's the demon, who you need to take down, but there are other characters that, if they're in the game, if the demon's taken down, the other evil person kind of gets promoted secretly in the night. So you're not really sure. It makes it very confusing. But also, there's kind of like status effects a little bit, in, if you want to call them that, in Blood on the Clock Tower. Like, there is someone in the game who could be the drunk, and basically, if you are the drunk, when you pull your token at the beginning of the game, you think you're that person, but the person kind of running the game has decided you're the drunk. So everything that you have the power to learn about is wrong. It's like just wrong information. So there's just like a drunk person who doesn't know they're drunk, running around thinking they're, like, a good person and informing people, and it's all just wrong. And similarly, there's one of the bad characters who is the poisoner, who can just every night poison a different person. So for that night, they will get misinformation during their phase of the game where they gain information, and they're just poisoned. So they just learned something totally wrong one night. which is really incredibly interesting because I was the Slayer, and basically what the Slayer can do is one time during the game they can just yell out, they have to announce they're doing it, that they are targeting who they think is the demon to kill them. And if it's the demon is dead, and that's it. If it's not, nothing is said, and the game continues. And we were so sure that we knew who the demon was, and I just super embarrassingly like scream out, "You're the demon!" Ah! But this person was under some sort of misinformation, and then she was killed, and I had used my power so confidently, and then yeah, it's like really exciting. So it's a really fun game to play at a convention because you don't know that many people, and you get to know everyone in this kind of scenario. People who don't like social deduction or I guess lying, you could say, might not enjoy this type of game. Some people find it a bit uncomfortable, depending on, I guess, how intense it can get. I didn't find it to be an intense experience. I found it to be really fun. Everyone was kind of just trying to figure it out. But obviously, there are people in the group who are lying to your face who you've never met before. So that's something you have to be comfortable with when playing this type of game. So that was definitely the absolute highlight of the night. I think we finished at like 2 in the morning. And it was just really, 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 really cool. I think I will remember the people in my group forever. It was just like such a bonding experience. And I was on the good team, and the good team did end up winning. The back and forth was hilarious, and it was wonderful. So that being said, I'm going to show you maybe some more of my goodies in my bag. So another game company that gave me some games is called Weird Giraffe Games, and I've been looking at their stuff on the internet or on Instagram for quite some time because the art is really, really beautiful, and I really wanted to try some of their things, and they were so excited to hook me up with some of their goodies. So the first thing that I got from them was big easy busking. So here you go. So, oh, the lighting in this room is kind of poor. I'm sad about the glare, but the colors on this are phenomenal. So you can see a little bit there. Big, oh, it's not really great, but big easy busking. I haven't played it yet, but from what I understand, you are a band in New Orleans, and you are trying to like build your band and get kind of fans and money and stuff like this, I would say. Players take on the role of a group of street musicians, buskers, ready to make it big in New Orleans by strategically playing songs to different adoring crowds. So you play songs, yeah, matching the mood of the crowd and knowing when to push your band members to the max. So you have to kind of like use the energy of your band members to get the crowd going. I love the theme, love the colors, really excited to try it out. Another game that they gave me, oh, wait a second, they also gave me, 1 second, I have to dig through this bag of goodies. I thought I grabbed it, maybe I did not, or maybe it has fallen into my bag here. I think I might have left it in the other room, unfortunately. Oh no, here it is. They gave me upgrade pieces for the game, so I don't know if that's an expansion or just like a deluxe edition, but I really need to show you these because these are actually card backs. So they're like shields, and they match the back of the cards in the game so that you don't lose the beautiful art on there. But I want to show you these little pieces because you know how much I love little pieces. There's like alligators. Okay, I'm taking them out of the plastic so that you don't get the glare. I have to show you them. Look at these little alligator meeples. Check it out. Oh, focus, computer. This is important. We'll try. I'll show you the other ones, and hopefully when there's more on the screen, it will be more accepting. I think this one's a little trumpet. Got a little trumpet meeple. That's really exciting. And then, oh, did I mix that up? I thought that was a trumpet. Maybe I don't know my musical instruments that well, but I thought that was a trumpet. And this is more like a saxophone. Little saxophone, some jazzy goodness. Oh gosh, this is failing miserably, but I love them. I want you to see them. I'll have to figure out my lighting. Unfortunately, in this room, it's one of those rooms that doesn't have a lamp in the ceiling. Like, it's all just like floor lighting, and it's just never good lighting. So, yes, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Here we have I don't know what I'm looking at or which direction I should be looking at it in. Maybe someone can help me. Is this like the shape of Louisiana? I don't know I don't know what I'm looking at. Does anyone know what this is? Does anybody know? You tell me if you know. I don't even know if it's like picking up. Sorry, I'm like kind of so into my own world that I don't know if I'm... And then this one, which I don't know if it's called something else, where funky meeples. They are so funky, right? This is called a fleur de lis here. I don't know if it's the same there, but it's a very French symbol usually, I think. So those are the ones. I really don't know what this black one is, though. I feel a little bit silly. hopefully we can figure this out. Let's see if we can get a little, okay, no, nope. All right, carrying on. So that was Big Easy Busking by Weird Giraffe Games. Super happy. Oh, this is their other one. But super happy to have gotten that game. I'm so excited to try it. And the other game that they gave me that I've already been able to try, and I am so grateful that they gave to me, is Gift of Tulips by Sarah Perry. So beautiful. Look at how beautiful this is. It's not even picking up that great. There we go. That's the stuff. But this box, and it's that matte. I love a game with a matte finish. I love it. It got a little bumped on my road trip here, and but I love it so much. And I played it 2 players. I really want to play it 4 players. I think it'll be even more exciting. But basically, there's like a tulip market, and you can place tulips down in front of you, and they score points based depending on where they are in the market. You can give tulips to other players, which will add to their bouquet, and giving them will score you points. But then at the end of the game, you also score for what's the highest priced in the market. But the market is influenced by some secret cards that you've been putting aside. And so those will be drawn at random, a few of them, and will influence the market at the end. So you don't know who's exactly going to win, even though you can see the bouquets, and there'll be some scoring that way. So there's a bit of giving, bit of taking, which I really love, because I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm Canadian, but the tulips are very important because the Netherlands, I believe they send Canadians a bunch of tulips every year to put up at our parliament as a gift for things that happened way back in the day. So I thought that was kind of beautiful, the whole element of you can gift tulips. So I don't know if that was supposed to have anything to do with this game, but my Canadian heart very much identified with that aspect of tulip giving. So thank you, Weird Giraffe Games, for these 2 beautiful games. Art is phenomenal. They have a 3rd game I really want to try. I mean, they have more than 3 games, but there's another one I really want to try. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a trick-taking game with mice and dragons, and that's another one I just cannot wait to get my hands on. So keep an eye posted for that, because I definitely want to try that. All right, so I will go through the Saturday that I spent at Origins. Please let me know if you have any questions as I'm going. But Saturday was the day that I went a little bit all out, because I only had Sunday left. Sunday was a bit shorter. I was at the convention hall like every morning from 9 to 6, so it was closed by the time I was done. So I didn't get to walk around that much, and I did most of my walking around on Sunday. But Saturday, I knew that if I didn't have that much energy by Sunday, it was a shorter day, it was wrap up, I'd be all good. So I did my full day of work, had a great day demoing with all of you, and actually that's it gives me a great segue for one of the other questions that I got. What was a game that you wanted to buy immediately after playing? So I did not get to demo many games because, as I said, a demo like me personally, I didn't get to sit down and try new games that much because of the fact that I was working or like volunteering. But I'm a little bit biased because I was working for the Wise Wizard booth or volunteering for the Wise Wizard booth, but we had a game called Kapow, which you've probably seen coming up on my Instagram. And I was not originally supposed to show that game at all, but because of how busy things were and we had a bit of downtime, I learned the game very quickly so I could help out with that game because it was so popular that it sold out on the Saturday. Like it sold out, and then we were selling our demo copies because it was just that popular. So Kapow is like a head-to-head comic book based game where you roll dice behind a screen and you place them for attack, defense, and power-ups. And the power-ups include getting more dice, and you have dice with faces that you can add new faces onto the dice. So you can gain new faces to make your dice stronger or to change them depending if you need more attack, more defense. And the game takes all of 20 minutes max. Like it could play in 15. It's really quick. You're chucking dice, and we only played the base game, but the game comes with 6 characters, so heroes and villains, and depending on the hero that you pick, you have different starting hand and kind of different powers that drive it, or your character to be more like a robust kind of theme. And that game, it sold out immediately. I so quickly, and I was so pleased to have learned it. It was so much fun. I would love to snag a copy someday. I really liked it. Like I was very surprised. I didn't know anything about Wise Wizard games going in. I could have been good at demoing games that I didn't enjoy, but I did enjoy them, and I was totally just like mind blown about this. Other than that, I know that Black Hole Rainbows sold out very quickly. I think they sold out mid-Saturday. It's a game that I did play. I'll talk about it a little bit later. But that sold out really quickly. I don't know if I would have bought it right away after playing it because I think I need a few more plays to see. But it was very popular and I did enjoy it. Very good party game. And yes, So that to answer that question, I would say kapow is my answer. So on the Saturday, I was really fortunate to meet Sheer Boredom. I'm just going to grab a sip of my water here with my Ninja Turtle. I'm very tired today, so I'm Raphael, a little bit emotional and emo. Mm, after a long weekend at the spa with my girlfriends. So I got to meet Sheer Boredom. He is someone who is on Instagram, if you're not already familiar with him. And we've had back and forth, but we've never really had giant conversations. But when I met him, we clicked as people so phenomenally. It was really quite incredible. I was, I guess, shocked because I hadn't talked to him. TMNT, woo! Hi Nerd Lab, thank you so much for being here. Nerd Lab's been so supportive. If you don't already know him, check out his stuff. I think it's mostly D&D and Magic the Gathering. Just letting you know because he's been really supportive of my channel and helping me get it started. So thank you for being here. But yeah, Sheerboard and we had such a great time. So we ended up heading over to the board game bar right across from the convention center. Sorry, not the board game bar, the arcade bar. And we played a few arcade games and we drank some alcohol and we played Mario Kart N64 together. So that was a great way to break the ice of getting to know each other. And then we headed over to the convention center for Grant stand-up comedy. So I don't know if you know Grant. He does a lot of TikTok and Instagram stuff, and he is quite funny. He's quite enthusiastic, and I must say, his stand-up at Origins, it was my first time experiencing it, and I was laughing my head off. I thought it was so on point. I had such a good time being there. A lot of people in the Instagram community were there enjoying themselves. So I personally say if you ever have a chance to see Grant stand up at a convention or just even online little snippets, totally support that. It was a wonderful time. And after that, there was some suggestions of going out to the bar and this and that, but I was like, no, I must play Black Holes and Rainbows, because what happened was I went to the Black Holes and Rainbows booth, but they were so busy that like there was never time to demo, and I was volunteering, so I only had little windows. And I asked them if they had a game in the board game library. So at conventions, there's these board game libraries in the in one of the halls, and you can just go and take out a game and play with your friends. So I asked them if they had one in there, and they said no, but we should. So I ran a copy over to them during the day, and that way I would be able to play when the main hall for the exposition hall was closed. We could go over to the gaming hall. So that's what we did, and we sat down and we played some Black Hole Rainbows. But first, we were waiting to assemble a crew. We went and Sheer Boredom went and got us a whole whack of beer. So we showed up with this pile of beer for everyone and started playing 2 rounds. We had 2 games of Black Hole Rainbows going because someone actually bought a copy, had it. So we had 12 people playing Black Holes and Rainbows. Black Hole Rainbows. Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not saying it wrong. I have a sticker here somewhere. Let me see if oh no, all my stuff, my bag of goodies is so full that everything is pouring everywhere. But yes, I have posted about it. So it's on my Instagram. Oh, here it is. Black Hole Rainbows. So basically in Black Hole Rainbows, it is a party game where it's very chaotic. Very chaotic. A little bit of take that, a little bit of bonuses. You have like this wheel which is your black hole, and you need to fill it with these beautiful crystals, and it has to be all different colors. And every time you do that, you get a point. And I think you need somewhere 4 or 5 points, depends on how many people you're playing, to win the game. There's also a D20 in the game, and there's things that you can do to be able to roll your D20, and if a star comes up, I think there's 2 or 3 sides on the D20 that has stars, you get a point automatically. So instead of filling your black hole, you get a point. So there's like a push your luck element. I think you have to give some of your crystals to another player to be able to do that, or if you have cards. And all the cards in your hands are instants. So there's 6 people around the table with all these instants. Some can like empty other people's black holes. Some of them can be like rolling against them, and whoever rolls a star first gets all of your crystals. So it's just like this massive exchange of crystals trying to like fill your black holes and get points and like throw the dice, and it's just very chaotic, but it was really fun. I really liked it. I had a really good time. I would like to try it again, and I would like to try it again even at 4 players just to see if it's like chaotic more controlled, but chaotic big can be fun too. I didn't know the people I was playing with, which is really fun, but like, you know, you don't know like the chemistry and stuff as much. So I want to play it again. As I said, it sold out. People loved it. I definitely mentioned on my Instagram post that I would love a travel size version of it because it's a solid size game. It's like a full size box like this, but it is a party game. The components are beautiful. But for the type of game it is, it'd be really nice to be able to take it for me to like the park. So I hope maybe, I think they said there is something in the works, a card-based version that will be smaller. So that's something that I'm really excited about. After Black Hole Rainbows and some drinks, we went to see some jazz karaoke really quickly, and then we headed out for more games and pizza. So there was just like lots of gaming, lots of music, lots of pizza till 4 in the morning. So that was my really, aside from Blood on the Clock Tower, my very immersive convention experience, just being in the convention hall till 3 in the morning, playing games and then grabbing pizza. Loved that. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Hello to everyone who's popping in and out. Just wanted to say hi. And I will show you some more of the games that I got in here. One of the games I was really fortunate to get is called Castlescape. So if you follow my Instagram, you know that I do love to work with indie game designers. Not always just the big companies. I try a little bit of everything because I love supporting the small guy. And what caught my eye about this was I was walking around the convention center, and I'm just going to zoom in here. This is what caught my eye. They had a board out with the little pieces, little towers, and I was like, what's going on here? You're closing squares. Anything where you have to close squares excites me. So basically in this game, I have played it once. I played it at 2 players. I'd like to play it with more players and a few more times, but I had a really good time my first time. It is a deck building game, but we're also building Baileys, which is like a court thing. And so you have to put your place things on the board to enclose these squares, and how many squares are inside of the shape that you make are points that you will score. But you have influence that you're placing around at the top. So like you see here, there's cubes on the pieces and on the green. So one on the ground is worth 1 point, and you have to place them on the ground first. But when you build, you can build and then it elevates them. So anything on top is worth 2. So then when it's enclosed, whoever has the most influence really gets the points for those squares. And you have secret mission cards as well that you're trying to complete, as well as your deck building. And the fun thing in your deck building is that there's, yes, it sounds very good, right? So I had a really fun time playing it. My brother doesn't really like deck building. He's usually adverse to deck building, and this is the first time he said, I think I like this. So I obviously need to try it with some of the people who I already know enjoy this kind of game, but also just that he said that because it's a bit shorter, a bit more constrained in what you can, not constrained in what you can do, but there's a certain amount of rounds kind of. There's like a mechanism that makes the rounds happen. So it doesn't go on forever. You can't just deck build forever. So you have to be smart about what you're doing. And the fun element is there's a back alley. So some of the cards, if you choose to use them, gives you corruption, and corruption can do bad things to you. So you have to watch out, and that will take pieces off the board. But sometimes you need pieces off the board, so you want to be a bit corrupt, but not too corrupt. So it has like a nice medieval theme. With a lot of fun board game mechanisms, and like I said, anything where you have to like enclose those shapes and you're vying for it. I love that. It just excites me. So this is one that I'm so excited about. I will definitely do a full review of this when I've played it a few more times. So thank you for that. And I just want to mention the publishing company's name. I don't remember it off the top of my head. There we go. Praetorian Board Games right here. Oh, there we go. So I'll try to, I've never YouTubed before, as you know, but I will try to put stuff in the links as much as possible. Oh my gosh. So I'm losing the sunlight, and I do have a bunch of lights on in here, but clearly my my camera is not adapting to it very well. So let me see if I can just tug this over, if it'll change the lighting situation at all. Maybe a little bit, maybe not. Sorry, folks. I'll just get real close when I'm showing stuff off so that it like zooms in on the games. And then finally, my last day of the convention, just to touch base on that, was the Sunday. And the Sunday is a bit of a shorter day. We had to do inventory and all that stuff. So a bit of a heavy work day, even though it's shorter. And everyone's really exhausted. So mostly I just hung out with the Wise Wizard crew in a hotel suite that the owners had rented. And we just sat around playing some games. We played Smug Owls. I've also posted about that on my Instagram if you haven't seen it already. I really hope my camera figures out what it's doing. But it's a game where you flip cards and make riddles, and everyone tries to come up with the best answer for this new riddle. So I posted a couple of days ago on my Instagram if you want to check that out. But speaking of, yeah, laugh at me. I know, this room is so silly. I don't like that there's no lighting on the ceiling. Maybe if I put the light closer to the, no, that's not making it better. It's making it worse. Anyway, I'll fix it for next time, or at least I'll try to fix it for next time. But speaking of Runaway Parade Games, who does Smug Owls, they also do a game called Fire Tower, which I was really fortunate to try last spring because my friend went to PAX East and they are out of Massachusetts. So they obviously had games at PAX East and they decided to give me a copy of Fire Tower. Ooh, Fire Tower. So this game has some really, really beautiful pieces in it. I will also post a review of this now that I play it again. It's been a while since I've played, but because they also gave me a bunch of extra bits. You're saying not to worry about the lighting. I appreciate that because I don't know how it looks on your end, and I appreciate you chiming in there and letting me know so I don't worry about it too much. But speaking of some of those extra bits, we have Rising Flames, a board game expansion. So there is an expansion to Fire Tower. And wait, I should just let you know a little bit about what happens in Fire Tower. In Fire Tower, you have this beautiful board, which I will show off again one day, and these beautiful orange tokens. And you have a fire in the middle, and you're trying to burn down other people's towers in the corners. So you're leading the flames based on the winds and your cards to other people's towers, and you're placing these orange, beautiful crystals all around. Whoosh, super cutthroat. So I played 2 players, but I would love to play 4, and I would love to try the expansions. So when I do that, I will let you know. But we also have Buckets and Gems mini expansion for Fire Tower. Woo! That's really exciting. And a mini expansion. Just a little mini thing. 4 Mega Hawks. I don't know exactly what's in there, but it sounds amazing. 4 wooden hawks. They're little wooden hawk meeples. So that's exciting. I might start opening stuff while I'm sitting here doing this video because I'm kind of excited. And now we're in the good stuff anyway. I hope I didn't make you wait too long for the good stuff. On Saturday night, I said that I played games a lot. Oh, I forgot to tell you some of the games I played on Saturday night. I didn't only play Black Hole Rainbows, but I played some really fun party games. One of them was by 25th Century Games. I think it was called Green Team Wins, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, you are given each like a whiteboard, I believe. And sorry, I'm just getting a question coming here. First, the nano extension. Yes, I got a little nano extension. I think it's adorable. And will you ever do gameplay videos? I have been asked this question a lot, and it's something that interests me. But I'm technologically kind of not super competent. It kind of stresses me out. I worry that it would take some of the joy out of it for me if I don't know how to do the tech aspect. I'm a little embarrassed. You can see I'm like looking down. But if I can figure out, right now I use my computer for work too, so I can't keep it all set up nice. I'm moving my laptop around all the time. But once I get a work laptop and if I can be more stationary and have a setup that I can rely on and feel like I can just show up and start filming a gameplay, I would love to do that. Also, I know that you might have pointers for me, so if you do, I will gladly accept them. It is definitely something that people have asked me. I did start a Twitch, but I haven't actually done anything on it. I thought that doing it on Twitch might be interesting, like playing certain games. Like I know they do code names and fun events like that, but just like top-down kind of gameplay. I'll get back to you on that. I'm not 100% certain. So yes, we played on Saturday some other games that I forgot to mention, but by 25th Century Games, we played, I think it was called Green Team Wins, and you have like whiteboards, and you're given a prompt, and you're trying to match your answers to the green team. So you all start orange, and when you start matching, you flip green. And then every time you get one, the biggest amount of people saying the same one is green. So like if 5 people say the same thing, then they're the green team. And if you were green, you flip back to orange. If you were already green and you responded with the unit, like the majority vote, you get 2 points instead of 1. So when you flip, you get 1. If you're already on green and you keep matching, you get 2. So you keep going like that and just trying to match the answers to come up with. Like one of them was like Star Wars or Star Trek. One of them was, like headphones or a boombox, like things like this, and you're trying to like match the green team and stay with the green team and be part of the crowd. And another game that we played, I don't know who it's by or what it's called, but you're basically trying to make a giant blob. And we played with like 15 people, and this was the most hilarious yet maybe slightly embarrassing or maybe really cool, empowering experience. But you're asked a question. So I think the first question was a mountain, and like the most people in the group said Everest. So the people who said Everest become a blob, and then everyone else like remains not part of the blob. And if they match each other, they will make mini blobs, and they're trying to, and then they have to make decisions together. So the big blob, the next prompt, they have to come up with the answer together and have one answer, and they're trying to absorb all the blobs into the big blob so that you're just one big blob at the end. So I was by myself the whole game. I never got absorbed, and I was the only one. There was two of us for a few rounds that weren't part of the big blob, and then it was just me for rounds and rounds and rounds trying to match the blob, and my answers never matched the blob. And I tried. We, have different backgrounds, different ideas of things, but the one that upset me, it's a game. But the prompt was TV City. So what is your answer to TV City? What would you say if your prompt was TV City? I even said, they gotta meet me halfway. I was trying not to like cheat, but I'm from the Eastern Coast and I'm not American. And I said New York because every TV show I've basically ever watched is trying to be set in New York. And they said Hollywood. They said Hollywood because everything's filmed there. So it's like a city where you film television shows. And I was like, no, not Hollywood, not Hollywood. I was very disappointed in my blob on that one. I know that I got every other one not matching them, so I think we just think differently. But I was like, no, my last chance to be absorbed by the blob was like, I thought New York. I definitely, thank you, Nerd Lab. I thought New York. Exactly what I thought. Anyway, I will remember that forever. A very fun game, though. I really need to find out what it's called because I thought that was hilarious. But I didn't know any of these people and was very on the spot. So also kind of like, oh my goodness. But really, really fun. So one of the people I met during that night was demoing for, I don't even know the company name. Elf Creek Games, I guess. I don't know if that was the booth. The booth might have had anyway, he had Honey Buzz. He was selling Honey Buzz. All I know is Honey Buzz. And basically, he gave me the demo copy of Honey Buzz, the deluxe version to boot. And I thought that was the sweetest thing ever because this game is absolutely gorgeous. I have not played it, but it is gorgeous. You must have all seen Honey Buzz. It is just, it's like honey themed. There's bees, there's honey, there's pretty colors, and there's deluxe pieces. So first when he gave it to me, he was really like sorry because they had lost one of the deluxe pieces. But they said the entire base game was still in there, just one deluxe component was missing. And I was just like, yo, that's not a big deal. Like, I didn't even expect to get a deluxe version or a version at all. And if there's just one piece missing and there's already like a non-deluxe version of the piece, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, just like, oh my God, I'm getting Honey Buzz. And then all of a sudden, when we're doing teardown, my boss comes up to me, or the wise wizard guy, and he's like, I have something for you. And it's just this one piece that he just drops into my hand. And he said they tore down their booth and they found the deluxe piece that they were missing, and they gave it to me to give to you. So now the game is complete. So I was really, really, really excited about that. So this is by Elf Creek Games. I don't know if that was the booth or not. I'm sorry if I'm not promoting you properly, but this game is Elf Creek Games, and it is beautiful. And I am so excited to play it. I might be playing it tonight. So hopefully I will be able to review it for you as soon as possible. I am so excited. I love nature-themed games. For those of you who do not know already, I'm an environmental scientist. So nature themes are kind of a big deal to me. I love them. Absolutely love them. All right, carrying on. Some other fun goodies that I got. See, this bag is huge. Huge. All this stuff is in here. Now, just a reminder that this was from All Play. Board game tables. Great bag. So excited about it. This game is not my last one, but it's one probably that I'm most excited about. For those of you who've been to my lives on Instagram, every single time I do a live on Instagram, board games that are based on video games comes up. Every single time, I think, like consistently. So you know that I love video games. And I was walking by this booth, not knowing this even existed, and just freaked out. So without further ado, there's a Mega Man board game that looks like an NES cartridge. Have you seen this thing? Also, it's cooperative. So you can play it with your friends as a team. They were demoing it. There's like Mega Man dice. There is all sorts of cool stuff going on in here. I'm playing this on Tuesday, so I can't actually comment on the game. But yeah, there is a Mega Man board game. And I am not 100% sure, but one of my friends I was talking to on Instagram said that he bought it on at Target in the States. And it was on sale for like $40. So definitely keep an eye out at Target if this is something that interests you, because it's Mega Man and it's a board game. Like, what more can I say? And it's cooperative. Like, I'm not usually that into cooperative, but like I can see why Mega Man would be a cooperative board game, because these games are hard, and I would definitely want to be a team and have my sidekick. So yes, Nerd Lab says, what, with a bunch of exclamation marks? What indeed? So this game is by Kess. The board game company is called Kess. They were so super nice to give this to me. Like, I had never spoken to them at all ever. I was just tripping out. So they gave me their demo copy. I helped them clean it up at the end of the night, and they gave it to me. And now it's mine, and I love it. So thank you, Kess. Is there a solo mode? It says 1 to 4 players. So that would say yes, there is a solo mode. That's what I'm going to say that means, because I'm pretty sure it does. And yes. I love that the few people who are here right now are just as excited as me, because yes, everything, yes. So I am so excited to try this. I have plans with my roommate to play it on Tuesday night, because I want to get a review out on this as soon as possible, because I want it to be as I did a small demo and it looked super fun, so I'm pretty certain it's going to be amazing. So another game that was affiliated with their booth, I don't remember exactly how it worked. I will have to look at my business cards and remember properly, but was Tome. So they also gave me Tome. This is by Reversal Games. And I've played Tome before, because my friend who went to PAX East also got Tome last spring, and my birthday's in the spring. So he brought it to my birthday, and it was a game that we could play out on the picnic benches at the bar while I was drinking rum, and I really enjoyed doing that. So I am going to play this again so I can refresh my mind and give you a proper review of this. And they also gave me a card expansion, so that's super fun. He's going to be, it's always really fun when I get games that a friend already has with expansions, because they're going to want to play, because they want to see the extra bits. So between Fire Tower and Tome, I have a night of gaming locked in with that friend. Always great to be able to lure them over, because you know how difficult that can be. And finally, in terms of full-size games, I have a copy of Hero Realms. I just want you guys to see this, because I've seen this on the shelves of my board game store many times. And the thing about these types of games is they're small, they're reasonably priced, and if you don't know what they are, you have no idea if they're good, right? You're just like, that's a small game. I don't know what it is. I could buy it. It's a good game. If you like deck building games, I learned Hero Realms for the convention so that I could teach it, and I'm still playing it every night on the app. It's a deck building game where you start with a base deck, and there is a row of cards, like a market in the middle, and you're just buying from the same market and just going at it. There's 4 different colored cards that kind of do different things, and you're trying to build your deck, and you're trying to kill the other person or defeat the other person. And it's just really addictive. It's really addictive. It's really fun. If you used to play Magic the Gathering but just don't have time for that, it's just a really, really easy game to play, and the rules are simple. And then if you really like the extras, they have characters, and then you can kind of change your starting deck a bit and have different kind of themed characters. And what I learned at the convention is that they actually have campaigns that you play together. So you each buy a deck for your character, and then you can go and play through like a campaign of this game. So you should try the 2 Adventures extensions. Is that what I'm talking about? The campaign ones? Is that what they are? Have you played them? Because I didn't think I was going to buy anything at the board game convention, and I wanted to buy all the games that I was demoing, which is a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Like, I guess maybe not embarrassing. That's not a good word, but it's just like, I'm in love with all the games that I'm working at. Like, oh, so you have played them, the Adventures extensions. So they're good? Like, they look good. I wanted to buy them. I was excited. I didn't know that there was I'm addicted to Hero Realms is what I'm trying to say. And I want to try all the Wise Wizard stuff for this. They're saying that the Heroes extensions are so cool. So I'm pretty sold. I'm pretty sold on this. So Wise Wizard Games, Hero Realms, the adventures extensions. You can play together. I think I might have misinformed some people about that at the convention because I didn't know, but now I do. And yes, definitely this is one I would suggest trying out if you like deck building games. Simple deck building games, very quick. You can play with a friend. If you only have one friend that you play games with too who likes that kind of thing, so quick, so quick. So happy that I got this copy. So that's basically it for games. Something else I learned at the conventions was about these pins. Like, these are really popular. That's my name. I maybe shouldn't be showing my full name, but it's there now. It's out in the world. Star Realms, Kapow. That's the game I was talking about earlier. Kapow. These like pins are very popular at the conventions. Fire Tower, they also give me a pin. They're really beautiful pins, and it's kind of like a really nice souvenir to take home. So if you ever do go to a convention, they have a whole bunch of different ones for different types of things, games, what you identify with, all sorts of just interests. Really, really cool thing. You add them to your badge. Super fun. And then something that I didn't know about was promos. Like, I didn't realize how many little promo goods there were at these conventions, which I thought was really exciting because I had zero clue. But some of the promos that I got were, check this out. I love this game. This is a pocket-sized Codenames. They're like the size of my glasses. Like, look at this. This is Codenames right now. That's a pocket-sized version of Codenames. I take Codenames everywhere to begin with, and now I have a pocket-sized one. I can play literally anywhere, all the time. They just handed this to me. They were like, here. And I was like, oh my goodness. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I am really, really, really excited about this. My brother loves Codenames. My friends love Codenames. Now I have the smallest, miniest Codenames ever. I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. I think you should all be thrilled. Another little promo that that's Check Games Edition. If you aren't familiar with the company, Codenames is a great party game, family game, whatever you want to call it. There's a version that's 2 players. If you want 2 players, it's a phenomenal game. Falling Skies, they had a promo piece. I don't know if you've played. If you're not familiar with the game, this won't mean anything to you. I haven't actually played, but it's a solo game only, and I bought it for my brother for Christmas. And he likes the game, as far as I know, and they gave me this, and I'm super excited about that because you can just add it to your bunch of stuff and have a special little piece there. And another thing that they gave me that I thought was really, really cute was a postcard that says, "Greetings from the Starship Captains." It's a postcard. And if y'all don't know about Starship Captains, this is a game that is made to look like Star Trek. It is not branded as Star Trek, and it doesn't infringe on anything as far as I'm aware. But clearly, as a shout out to Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I absolutely love Star Trek. And Check Games Edition actually sent me Starship Captains not too long ago. I'm gonna whip it out to show you that because it is awesome. This is Starship Captains. It is amazing. It's such a homage to Star Trek and that world. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful game. I've only played it once, so maybe I'm speaking super highly of it, but I have to show you the pieces. You know how much I love pieces. The friends that I played it with were super excited to try again. Look at this. Look at this. You each get one of these. This is part of the game. Like, whee! Like, it's enough. It's enough to make me love this game. But on top of that, you get these people who match your Star Trek abilities, right? Like, you're yellow, you're blue, and you're red. And there's a super fun mechanism. I'm going to show you because I think it's awesome. They literally, like, line up in here. This is, like, your ready room. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Like this. And you use them when they're in here. But they, like, push forward so that you know which one is entering. And there's ways to, like, move them around and how they enter into the back here after, and where they slide up. And then, yeah, they just, like, as you get more and more, you just have this super cool thing. Sorry, I'm nerding out so hard right now. But you just, whee, you just push them, and they go, boop, 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 and then you have all your people that you can use for that round. And, like, right? How cool is that? It is so cool. And it's not a hard game. It's not complicated. The mechanisms are pretty straightforward, but I'm hoping to show this one off a little bit more as well because it's awesome. Like, just based on showing you that, you're already like, I need this one. So That's exactly how I feel, and I definitely need to give it the love it deserves so that everyone knows about it. Starship Captains, Czech Games Edition. And they are over in Europe, as far as I'm aware, so it should be easy for you to get it over in France. It shouldn't have, like, I know sometimes games in America are a bit harder to get a hold of, but they're over in, well, Czech, I believe. So, yes, that's it. My big board game bag is empty. It's empty. And it will be full again because I don't have anywhere to put those games right now, so they have to live in this bag until I have played them. All right, so thank you so much for being here with me. Oh, I did have 2 more questions that I forgot to answer from my Instagram, so I'm just gonna answer those really quickly. One of them was there a big international presence at Origins? I don't know. Most of the people I met were American. I am Canadian. I've maybe met a handful of Canadians. I don't know that there was anyone over from Europe that wasn't affiliated with a board game company. I'm not the best person to ask though, because as I was saying, I was demoing. And the other thing was, what was the game that got the most attention at the convention? Once again, I didn't get to see as much as I would have liked to in terms of convention, but there was one game that had a limited amount of games available, and that morning they were gone, and it's called Thunder Road Vendetta. I know nothing about it except that it's like a car game, and you're like racing cars, but it's apparently really fun and like hilarious and simple. And it's a board game. It's not just like a track, it's like a board game. That's called Thunder Road Vendetta. And I saw so many people carrying that around. I kept stopping people and being like, what is that? So that's something that I saw that was very popular. So thank you all for being here. Thank you. Saying thank you for the live, and I thank you for being here. You know, it's always a lot more enjoyable for me when you're here with me. So I appreciated that you were here and that you were communicating with me. And I can't wait to go live again. I'm hoping to make it a weekly occurrence in the future, but I'm not sure which day of the week yet. I'm hoping for some feedback from all of you for when would be best to join me for these types of things. Take care. Thank you so much for being here, and have a great day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be for you. Take care.